Welcome to leg 76 of the Great Loop aboard the Perch. I'm Kim Russo, the director of America's Great Loop Cruisers Association, and today we are going from Clifton, Tennessee, where we had a lovely stay overnight at the Clifton Marina, which is an AGLCA sponsor. We are headed to Iuka, Mississippi, where we will tie up at Safe Harbor Aqua Yacht, which is another AGLCA sponsor. So this is just a lovely day on the Tennessee River. The big news the morning we left was that it was very cold. The temperatures were below freezing briefly, and there was frost on the boat, there was frost on the dock. You can see that there was some fog kind of coming off of the river there, but it worked out to be a lovely day once the temperature rose just a little bit. The Perch, we do not have a lower helm station, so we are always driving from the flybridge. But we are fortunate that the flybridge is fully enclosed with canvas and isinglass, so on warmer days it's like a greenhouse effect. But on colder days like this, you also get that sun just kind of warming it up in there. So it really was not a bad trip, even in the morning when it was still pretty cold outside. So we are on our way up the Tennessee River, continuing on towards Iuka. We will have one lock coming up today, but in the meantime, we are expecting a lot of extra barge traffic. As you've probably been reading, the water is very low out there, especially on the Mississippi River, and if you've seen our videos from the Mississippi, you have a good indication of that. It's not quite as bad on the Tennessee River, and that is causing some of the barge traffic that would usually be using the Mississippi River to shift over to the Tennessee Tombigbee waterway. Most loopers take the Tennessee Tombigbee because it is often less commercial traffic. It really hasn't been bad, but there just are more barges being pushed by tows than we would normally see on the 10-tom route. So it's all working out just fine, really not a big issue. We're going to continue on the Tennessee River to Iuka, which is right where the divide cut comes in. And the divide cut is what the Army Corps of Engineers dug through to connect the Tennessee and the Tombigbee rivers to form the 10-tom waterway, which makes this route possible. This is a route that's generally more pleasure craft friendly than the lower Mississippi. So that's why most loopers will take this route. Less commercial traffic, more stops, although still not many, but more stops for pleasure craft, both for fueling and for tying up overnight or safe anchorages. So we're getting ready to approach the one and only lock we'll go through today. This is the Pickwick lock. It was opened in 1938. It is a 63-foot lift here. The lockmaster was filling the lock here pretty slowly today. I think it took us about 40 minutes for him to lift us the 63 feet, which is fine. We certainly prefer slow and steady. If they try to lift you too fast, the currents can get pretty bad in the lock. But as we pulled out, we were headed for our destination. Blew out the engine a little bit, as you can see us speed up there. And we were passing Grand Harbor Resort and Marina, which is another AGLCA sponsor that we recommend. We chose Safe Harbor Aqua Yacht, which is another AGLCA sponsor, because some looping friends we hadn't seen in a while were already tied up there. A few things you can do in the Iuka area. Most of what is available to you is going to be to explore by boat. So thankfully our friends who are harbor hosts with AGLCA have a pontoon boat, and we got to do some really fun things like explore an anchorage where there is a waterfall. So there were about, I'd say about 12 of us who went out on the pontoon boat, and we're just spending the day climbing the rocks by the waterfall, picnicking, having a little bonfire on the beach there. And we saw some other looper boats heading by and flagged them in, called them on the VHF, and they joined us and anchored there overnight. So it was just one of those kind of fun, unplanned days that worked out really well. There is also Goat Island very close to here, so if you have access to a perhaps smaller boat than your looping boat, or you can anchor and dinghy over. But the goats are very friendly, as you can see in these pictures, so that's another thing to do. Here's our Nebo track for the day. A pretty short day. We were underway for about 5 hours, went about 40 nautical miles, averaged just about 8 knots, which is kind of, as I've said, our typical cruising speed. We had a maximum of 10 knots there. So there's another look at our overall trek for the day. And shout out really to Safe Harbor Aqua Yacht, an AGLCA sponsor where we tied up. Really a lovely marina. They have a really good yard there that a lot of loopers were using, and we just thoroughly enjoyed our stay. The staff there is really first rate, and we appreciate them having us. We'll be back soon with leg 77 that will take us from Iuka, continuing on the 10-tom waterway. Thanks for watching.